Well, back at it. Another talk show, episode 3. Out in nature today, not raining. Got some beautiful birds chirping in the distance. Got some nice wet leaves. Probably gonna have some ticks on me. But it's all about the adventure. I don't mind sharing my blood. I don't really want Lyme disease, but life's all about give and take. Sometimes you gotta be willing to give. Sometimes we gotta take. But we gotta make sure that we're doing it in even ways. It can't be taking more than we give. And usually we can't give too much more than what we can take. It's not about selfishness. It's not about greed. It's about living and making sure others are living. That's why I preach the word of not having a bunch of kids, and that's why I preach the word of non-greed and making sure nature has all the things that it wants, because there's a lot of things that can't take care of itself. Like all these trees, they're just kind of stuck here. They're reliant on the water and the soil on the ground and a lot of things that they don't get to do. They just get hit and beat up by birds and axes and whatever else nature throws at it, and it's not fair to them. It's not fair to us to want to take from it unless we're going to give back to it, because we have a lot more control over it than what they got. And us as watchers, the people that have to be in control, we have the higher intellect. We have the higher hive mind. We have to take advantage of that for the good of everything. When we let our own needs get above other people's needs or other things' needs, and we ruin the balance of life. And that's why we got factories that we build. We chop down forests to build them. And then we have a bunch of kids, and then we have to take away more trees to build up houses for those kids. And what do the trees get to do about it? What do the plants get to do about it? Nothing. They don't get any say in it. And we just keep taking away from it for our own greedy need. I know that I'm bumming everybody out by always talking about the same thing. Nature this, nature that. We gotta stop doing this so we can have this. And everybody's like, well, then I'm not getting to be free. I don't get what I want. Well, maybe if what you wanted was more in line with everybody's wants, and you just want a little bit less, maybe you lived with somebody, or you bought a pre-existing house, or you adopted a kid, or you raised up something from nature like a dog or like a cat. If you look at it through a different lens and see we're all connected, then you wouldn't have to do everything for your own want. It's not like you still can't have a beautiful wife or a handsome husband, or something like that. But you shouldn't let your own family life impede onto other things. Because then we got little trees like this. They just get all fucked up. So what do we get out of it? We can build a house out of that tree. But who was here first, the tree or us? A lot of these trees have a lot more story than us. And then we chop down the tree for our story. Now, was our story more important than the trees? As far as I'm concerned, we don't live as long as the tree. You know, the tree has a lot more life than we have, and we use that as an excuse. Like, oh, something has all that life, then surely it can give it up for our life. You know, we got all this limited time, and the tree doesn't. So we might as well just use it for, you know, I really don't know. I don't really see the justification that we make. It seems pretty greedy. That's really the root of all this issue, is greed. And that's my goal, is to open our eyes to greed and how we lose so much of our loving humanity to greed. And it's as easy as just wanting less, being happy with less. You know, money doesn't really solve anything. The only thing money solves is helping everything. And it doesn't even do that. It's just the way the world's made. That's how we solve our issues, is with this stupid concept. When in all reality, all we need is food, water, love, shelter. That is really all we need. Yeah, we need order, we need laws, we need to uphold morals and culture and all that cool stuff. But really, there's no need for technology and all this other hoodlum BS that we idolize. Like, I'm nothing against people that sing, because they have more talent than most of us, and nothing against, like, you know, professional, like, sports players. But, you know, when did they deserve more chances? Or, like, why do politicians deserve so much more than a scientist or somebody that is just an average day, you know, average Joe worker? You know, how do we prioritize one thing over the other? So then the people in poor countries can't have anything. And it's a lot of the poor countries' fault too. You know, they use all the resources, and they have too many kids, and after a while you just can't help them anymore. And it's all because we all have too much greed. The poor people have too much greed, and the rich people have too much greed. And because of that greed, we can't meet in the middle. It's all about greed. But really, what it needs to all be about is love. So stop saying it's all about greed and start saying it's all about love.